Yes, today we're interviewing Mr. Jim Dennis of Greenville, Texas. And thank you very much for your willingness to participate today for our Hunt County Museum display. I'm excited about it. And I want to congratulate you for all your contributions and your things you achieved in this community. And tell me, what are you most proud of?
My most proud thing in life is my family.
Mm-hmm.
My family said, let me go. See, I could go back 73 years back, because when we first came to College Hill, I was 5 years old, and how we got our home, where Ethelene live right now.
Uh-huh.
It used to be a company out there on the corner of Walnut Street and 69 built homes, brand new homes by the name of A.B. Anderson Lumber Company. And my mom had 13 kids, 7 boys and 6 girls. And we bought that home picking cotton. Nobody never lived in it. It was a brand new home built, and we bought that home and paid for it picking cotton. Mm-hmm. It still sits right there on Washington right there with my baby sister. She lives in the old home place. Mm-hmm. When I was coming up on College Hill, we mostly proud of it because Clyde Simmons was our role model, and Floyd Daniels was our role model. Mm-hmm. And they always seen to us about getting into sports, going to school, getting an education. They stayed on us about that. My mom and my dad, they are my biggest role model. Mm-hmm. Because having 13 kids, 7 boys and 6 girls, we never went hungry, we never wanted for anything. And believe it or not, the Dennis family was the first somebody on the television on College Hill. Everybody came from school teachers, everybody came to my house, and my mom would pop popcorn, and we would all sit in the floor chairs and we would watch TV, because actually our house was the movie theater. Because everybody came. My mom, she welcomed everybody, don't care who you are, if we had food, everybody had food. Mm-hmm. And one thing I'm so glad about them is, like this Jim Crow, when it was coming up and all of that, my mom believed that there was no black or no white. Mm-hmm. Everybody was people, everybody was human beings, and that's the way she treated everybody. Mm-hmm. It wasn't ever you black, you white, no, to her, everybody was the same. Uh-huh. And that's where I feel today. Uh-huh. I train my children, I teach my children the same way. And by the way, while I'm on my children, I have 6 children of my own, 3 adopted. I have 39 grandchildren, 67 great-grandchildren, and we all stick together. We have dinner like on every Sunday, at Michael's house, my boy's house. We have dinner there. We stick together as a family. We're a family, outdoor family. We camp, we hunt, we fish, We all stick together at all times, Uh-huh. And it's well, you got this, you got that. Now, if I got a dime, you got a nickel. Mm-hmm. That's what my family raised us, Mm-hmm. And I'm so proud of my family, about anything. And going into sports, my brother Chauncey, he was the first black man that owned real estate downtown Greenville. Mm-hmm. Where OJC Peters is, those buildings just coming back west of those, he owned all of those buildings right in there. He had a counseling a center for children and things like that. He used to bring counselors out of Dallas and around to counsel children. Mm-hmm. Then he owned the property down on Jordan Street. Mm-hmm. All those buildings right down on Jordan Street, he owned that. So I'm so glad that coming, like, it's never been another black man, not up until this day, that owned real estate downtown Greenville. Mm-hmm. And he was the first one. Mm-hmm. And so I'm so proud of that because he was a businessman. Mm-hmm. He stayed in the business, he stayed into sports. He always looked out for children, no matter what, black, white, or whatever. They was all his children. Mm-hmm. And that's what we all looked at the things just like that. No black, no white kids. We all were just children of God. Mm-hmm. And I'm so proud of that my parents raised us that way, and the people around us was raised us that way. Mm-hmm. And I'm so proud of Clyde Simmons and Mr. Daniels. You know, they always looked after us like Culver Park. It's on College Hill. We named it Culver Park. We built that from the ground up. It still sits, it's still there now. The bleachers and everything we built back in the 60s, all of that are still there now. You know, and most everybody in Greenville would play baseball, softball down there, you know. And I'm so proud of that, you know, what I accomplished in my lifetime. I'm 78 years old now, you know, and I can look back over my life and I can talk to you and tell you stuff that you wouldn't believe, you know, that went on College Hill, you know. It wasn't any bad stuff or no games or anything like back then. We was one big happy family. Everybody looked out for everybody else. Like, and my mama had a saying, you know, don't let the sun go down on you. What that means is, you better not be caught out after dark. You better be in the house before that sun go down. And she meant that too, you know. And that's what she raised us. And I'm so proud of my mom and my dad, the way they raised us. You know, they always want us to be somebody, make something out of our lives. And I'm so happy now that I raised my children to be the same way. And I can say this, I'm so proud of my children. None of my children that have been in jail, none of them smoke dope, none of them smoke, none of them drink, you know. And I'm so proud of that too, you know, that they look out for each other, you know, we look out for each other.
That is so good. I know summers, I heard, was really a lot of fun here in Greenville. Tell me about the summers and the baseball games in Greenville, Texas.
Well, summer in the baseball games, each town had a baseball team. Like you got on that Sugarland, Darktown, College Hill, West End, East End, Coontown, Warshad, you know. We all had baseball teams, you know. And that College Hill was the Trojans, you know. We were the College Hill Trojans, you know, and I got Darktown Dodgers, the Sugarland Eagles. I could just go on to name every team that we had. And then when we would come together, you know, and we had built a little concession stand right there, and that's where we sold food and stuff out of, different kind of food and stuff out of there. And that was the whole thing for the whole city of Greenville, you know. Everybody came to Culver Park, play football or baseball, for sports and things like that. And that's where we had our fun and stuff at. We used to have a swimming pool right there on the corner of, you know where, what we used to call it the White Bridge, you know. But they built a swimming pool right there where, Betty, you know, just right, that'll be west, right behind Carver School.
Gotcha.
Okay, that vacant lot right in there. We had a swimming pool, a city swimming pool. It was a city swimming pool there. In the summertime, we all went there, and that's where we swam and had our fun and everything like that, you know. And that was a big part of College Hill then, because we had, excuse me, the baseball field, we had the swimming pool, you know, we played softball, everything. We had women's softball teams, and, you know, I coached the women's softball teams also that I mentioned before. I was the baseball commissioner. I overseen everything, that everything went right. Every team got to play, you know. We had that trophies and everything like that, you know, for the best players, and the teams after the season will win the biggest trophy. You know, I'm so proud of that too, because see, children back then, they came up, you know, how would I put it, I would say an iron hand. You know, they was ruled like with an iron hand. When none of that cursing, shooting, drinking, and all of that stuff going on back then. We was all one big happy family. We had something to do. We all looked out for each other, you know. If I was down the street, 3 blocks down the street, and I did something that wasn't right down the street, I got a whooping street, and then when I got home, I got a beating. You know, so everybody looked after each other's children, and that's what's so good about it. Back then, people cared about people. They cared about children, you know, and they looked out for children. You know, they made sure you had some, like back in the day. You know, like in the block, like if you killed a hog, you know, everybody in that block got some of that meat. You know, it wasn't meant where you get yours, I got mine. Everybody in the block got some of that meat. It makes sure my dad and mom made sure everybody in that block got some of that meat. You know, and that's where we was raised up. I still believe in that today, you know, with children and things there. I raised my children not to expect to get paid for everything that you do. Now me, I'm a Christian. I've been preaching and teaching for 40 years, you know, and I wouldn't trade that for nothing in the world. You know, I have a son that pastors, like she mentioned, Pastor Warren Dennis. I have a brother that pastors in Wolf City, you know. I have a sister that has a doctorate in theology in Garland, you know. So we are a very Christian-like family. We stick together, you know. We love God. We trust Him. We believe in Him. And let me throw this in while we're on that subject of Christianity. You know, everybody running around worrying about the COVID disease and stuff like that. But if you stop and think and read your Bible, God gave us the answer to that problem in 2 Chronicles 7:14. Because if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, then will I hear from heaven and I heal their land. So we got to get back to God.
Yes.
We have left God. God haven't left us. We have left God. And when we get back to God instead of believing and trusting in Him, this disease is a go. Because, you know, the Bible speaks of diseases and things, you know. And He'll heal our land if we get back to Him. So that's what we got to do in this time and things like that. We got to get back to God and trust and believe in Him.
That's so true. And I want to step back just a minute. I agree with you with getting back to God. But I want to hear a little bit about Mr. Clyde Simmons and Mr. Daniel.
Clyde Simmons, he was a principal in Caddo Mills, principal of the school in Caddo Mills. Clyde Simmons organized baseball teams and stuff. It used to be a baseball team called, wait a minute, let me get the name of it, Majors Field. It's down in Coontown, back off in there. We built that field down in there. It was a major field. It was like they played Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball.
From different towns around. And Mr. Simmons, he organized that team, that major field team. Matter of fact, I wish I could go with you. I can show you where it is right now, you know. But I'm so proud of Mr. Simmons for looking out for all our children and things like that, making sure we stayed into sports, make sure we went different places, you know. And Mr. Daniels, he always taught us FFH. The FFA, you know, he taught us that in school, you know, and he looked out for us, you know, all about farm animals and everything like that, you know. And they just really looked out for us and cared and wanted us to get an education. That was their main thing, get an education, make something out of your life, be somebody, not just run the streets or do anything, but get you an education, and then you can be somebody. And they always tell us, you can be anything you want to be. You can be the president of the United States if you want to be. All you got to do is get an education and put forth some effort.
Where was Mr. Daniels from? What school?
Which school did Mr. Daniel teach in?
At Carver High School.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Daniel taught at Carver High School.
Okay.
He's an agriculture teacher, and what did he teach, Brother Daniel teach? Egg, and I forgot what it was he taught. But then another one, Claire Davidson. I played football on that place. He was the coach of Carver High School. That man won more football games than anybody that ran here, you know. Claire Davidson, he was the coach of Carver High School, you know. And we were the Carver High Tigers, you know. And I love playing up under Coach Claire Davidson. Bless his heart, he's deceased now. But everybody around here knew and loved Claire Davidson, Floyd Daniels, and Clyde Simmons. You know, that was our role models back in those days. They looked out for us. They wanted us to be somebody, get you an education and everything. I mean, I could go into some things that happened on the football field. When my coach under Coach Davis now we had a board about this long, and he had drilled holes in it. You know, and that when we were playing football, if we missed a tackle, he'd say, "Come here, boy," and he'd bend over and he'd pop you a couple of times with that board.
Make sure you play a little harder.
Oh yeah, make sure you go. I mean, we had fun back in those days. You know, when all that fighting and going on, we played different cities like Sherman, Denison, Paris, and all the different cities around. We played football for them. You know, but before he got to, I got drafted in 1964, and I went into the Army. And then when I didn't even know school was segregated, integrated until I got back from Germany. As a matter of fact, that's why you sent me on a cane, and I got hurt in a helicopter crash, you know, in Baumholden to Germany, you know, when I was in the Army. When I came back, I didn't even know that school was integrated, you know. And I came back in '66, you know. And man, I tell you what, I love doing the things that I do. I love teaching and preaching right now. You know, I love children. You know, I like to help children and make sure that they get a good education and be somebody in life. Not just run the streets with their pants hanging down and smoking this dope and all of this stuff. You know, that's stuff that goes on back then. You know, but nowadays, you know, that stuff goes on in there, and I you know what? I can't say I blame the parents, and in a way I do, but society. I really blame society for what's going on now. How they let these children go around and stuff, and what they do now. You know, because when I was coming up, we didn't have that kind of stuff. We was always doing something, having some fun or something. We was always had something to do. You know. And that's where our parents raised us back in the day. The days of college here, man, will never go away in my life, you know, because of what it taught me, and the people on college here taught me, you know, the things we done, the things I participated in. I was in a member of the Big Brothers organization, and, you know, and stuff like that, you know. Excuse me.
Tell us a little bit about the Big Brothers organization, because I'm hearing a lot of things you guys were doing to keep the youth busy.
And in the Big Brother, what we did back then, I would organize, you know, like we would go around and help the elderly. You know, if they porch was rotting and need building, we would rebuild it. If their house needed painting, we'll repaint their house. You know, and if they needed food or something, you know, we would chip in and take some people some food. Let me tell you a story while I'm on that subject. Okay. There was this old lady that lived in the house, and she was hungry and she didn't have no bread. She didn't have no bread, and Betty, cut that fire on that pot for me if you don't mind. And so she didn't have no bread. So one day she was praying for a loaf of bread, and so these two boys they always going and peeping in a window and looking and everything. And they heard her praying one day for a loaf of bread. So what they did, they went to the store and they got a loaf of bread and they brought it back and put it on the porch and knocked on the door and jumped back in the bushes and hid. So when she came out, she said, "Lord, thank you for this bread." So them boys jumped out of the bush and said, "The Lord didn't send that bread." I said, "We bought that bread," but she said, "Even if the devil brought it, the Lord sent it."
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
She got the bread.
Yeah, she got what she prayed for.
Yes.
Even if the devil brought it, the Lord sent it.
We're going to move on a little further. I know you worked in law enforcement when you came back from the service. Tell me about working in law enforcement.
Okay, when I went to work, I went for in law enforcement in March 1966, and I was in that for 10 long years, and I was a police. Now let me tell you this. I'm not bragging when I say this, but everything that I went into, I excelled to the top. You know. Just like when I went to work for Commerce Police Department, Jack Booth, we had a black police chief, you know. And when I went there, I was a police officer for 11 months, and I made sergeant. It usually takes you from 5, 6, 7 years to do that. But I went to school, I went to Lamar Tech, you know, and I took some courses at Lamar Tech. I got my law degree from East Texas State University, you know, and I wished I could... I had all this certificate, But I had enough law enforcement sitting with the paper, this whole room right here, what I accomplished going to school and the things that I done, you know. But all that stuff is gone now back in the day because my mom's house, it got burned up. My mom had a trunk full of trophies and certificates and ribbons and everything, you know, that we had won playing sports and stuff. But being in law enforcement, you know, I loved it because I was in a lot of, doing law enforcement, I loved it. It was a dangerous profession, but I loved it. And in that profession, I worked rape, robbery, murder, cases like that. I run gun running cases from here to Dallas, you know. And I was good at what I done in law enforcement. So I was so good that if somebody got killed Monday, Tuesday, I have that person for you. I'll have you what they done it with, how they done it, when they done it, and everything. God gave me that much sense to do that, you know. And I can find out all of that stuff. And if y'all really want to know something what people use their head nowadays, every man that's dead, every man that's in prison, a woman is behind it. If you want to know something, find out something, go to a woman. A woman knows. This outside most of my cases. If you be friends with women, and most back then, all my friends were women. I didn't hardly have no male friends. And I could get all my information. Believe me, right today, if they would talk to women and stuff, they could solve a lot of cases, a lot of mess going on. Because when a man do something, he gonna brag, he gonna go back and tell a woman, you know. And no women can tell you a whole lot of things. Believe me, now right to this day, that's how I got most of my information when I was a cop in Commerce, you know. And that's how I solved a lot of cases, you know. And I tell you, I loved it. I can tell you some stories back then when cases I investigated. I never will forget this time that this man lived kind of out in the country outside of the city limits, and nobody had never seen him for about 2 or 3 weeks. And so we went out there, and we kicked the door down. And when we kicked the door, he had a dog in there. And when we kicked the door, the dog come out of there running and howling. And when we got in there, he had took a shotgun, put it between his legs, and put it in his mouth and blowed his brains. The brain and stuff was scattered all over the ceilings and everything like that. Man, I could tell you some stories about my 10 years as a police officer you wouldn't believe. If Commerce had had the media like Dallas and the other cities, oh man, it would be pitiful. But we just didn't have the media to put everything out like it really happened, because a lot of things went on in the city of Commerce. There was 5 bars right across the street and down the street from the police department in Commerce. And man, it was some tough days. Back when I was a cop, you know, from 66 to 87, you had to be a police officer, you know, because all the stuff went on, the crimes and the fights and all of this stuff. You had to be there, you had to be prepared, you know, you had to be physically fit and all this here if you wanted to take care of that. I run that city sometimes, like on the weekend, by myself, one officer, you know, in the whole city of Commerce. I ran that whole city. I used to have a nickname. They used to call me Daddy Rich. It was Daddy Rich law. Whatever I said, I don't care what the judge say, nobody, what Jim Dennis said, it was the law. That's the way it was.
Yeah, I remember you from Commerce. Yes. Any issues as being an African American in a white male dominated organization, usually police departments are white male dominated.
Okay, like I said, go back. When I went to work for Commerce, Jack Booth, he was black. He was the chief of police. And that city was so bad that Jack Booth used to work for the railroad. But the city of Commerce went and got Jack Booth off the railroad and made him the chief of police of that town. And Jack Booth is the one straightened the city of Commerce up. And now, we had, there was a Marion Greer, Maine, Henry Finch, Jerry Ball. Let's see who else was there. Well, I think we had about 6 or 7 black officers back then on the police department. You know, and like I said, what I'm so proud of that I made. Like I say, right now today, you're gonna take you some 3, 4, 5 years to make sergeant. I made it in 11 months.
That is excellent.
11 months. Every job that I ever had, I excelled to the top. I was in business management for 43 years, you know. And let me tell you this, I never filled out the application for a job. What I would do, I would go to the place where if I wanted a job, and I would tell them like this, you know, give me a chance. And I tell them like, I work for free. Just give me a chance. If I can't make it, then you fire me. And let me tell you about the first business job I had was in Dallas, Texas, a place y'all may not remember back then, but it was called Jim Dandy Fried Chicken. It was in South Dallas. I went to Dallas, I moved to Dallas, and I went to this place, and they told me they wanted me to go to school for 6 weeks before I made assistant manager. I said, sir, if you put me in that store and give me a month, I said, if I can't make it, then you fire me. In 2 months, I was the manager of that store.
That is good.
I ain't went to nobody's school.
That is good.
Because I had the sense of stuff, you know, how to go about doing things, you know, paperwork and all of that. I had this old saying, and I still say it today, give me a pencil and a piece of paper, I kill a man. Because I know business, you know. And just to give you an example, just say somebody went over there and built 500 apartment complexes, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms, you know. And if you tell me what each one of them rent for, you know, I'll tell you what it's supposed to bring in a month. I'll tell you what it's supposed to bring in a week. I'll tell you what the water bill should be. I'll tell you what the light bill should be. I'll tell you what the gas bill should be. And I won't miss it by a penny.
That is excellent.
Now that's after your police career.
Right. Well, I did that too while I was a police officer. I managed real estate too. I managed real estate in Sherman and Dallas and Greenville. I managed like $200 and $300 million properties. I didn't manage no $200 or $300 little houses. $200-300 million property. That's what I managed. Yes, sir.
Yes. I was going to ask the next question, but you already explained. I was going to ask you, what is your business and faith-based philosophy? But you already touched on it. But tell me a little bit more about your faith-based philosophy.
I believe the main thing is in a person's life they should get an education. And once you get to the education, you got to use what you learn. You know, common sense and the education is what a person needs in life. You know, if you don't have common sense with your education, you're not going anywhere. And I believe that right today. You got to have common sense with everything. Let me go back to my police and business.
Okay.
I had to go to school for 8 weeks to be a police officer. They teach you the books, what the law says. But if you ain't got common sense, you can't make it on those streets. You got to have common sense because they don't tell you somebody's carrying a gun bigger than yours. They're going to tell you somebody's going to shoot at you. They won't tell you somebody's going to pull a knife on you. They don't tell you somebody's going to beat you. That's not in the books. All they got in the book, the law say you can and cannot do, you know. But if you ain't got common sense, you might go to work Monday evening at 3 o'clock, you might not come home. Because somebody will probably kill you or mangle you real bad. So you got to have common sense in everything that you do. Right to this day, you got to have common sense. You know, get your education, have common sense, and you can make it in this world today. And the main thing I go back to do, you got to trust and believe in the Lord. I can't help it, but that's just me. You got to trust and believe in the Lord Jesus Christ if you're going to make it in this world today.
Mr. Dennis, you have a wide range of experience. You know, you talked about sports growing up. You talked about the influence of the men's in the community as well as the ladies in the community. You talked about being focused and your work ethics, which is wonderful. But tell me, how do you want to be how you want history to judge you?
I want history to judge me as being mostly a child of God. I want them to be as a person who helped one another, you know. I want to be known as one of God's child, you know, that teach and preach, make things right with other people, help other people. And that's where I want to be looked at in life, a man who helped other folks, you know, along the way. Not down on nobody, not disgrade nobody, you know, not look at color, but look at them as a human being, a person and a child of God. And if you see somebody down, help them. Help them on along the way. If you see somebody, don't put because they're down, you don't put your foot on them. You pick them up and you help them. And I want to be known like that as the help folk, no matter who they are, what they are, no matter what walk of life they came from. I want to be known as a person in history who said, there goes Jim Dennis. He helped me. He helped me. You, I tell you what, you can talk to some of these here. I'm telling you, when I was in Dallas, I lived in Dallas, and I had this kid in the apartment across from me, and I didn't even know who he was at the time. And so we were standing out there at the bus stop, and I was waiting on my son to get off the bus. And so we got to talking, and so he said, Mr. Dennis, you know what? He said, I want to thank you. I said, what? He said, when we was coming up as kids, he said, you helped all of us. You taught us how to play football. You taught how to play softball, you know, baseball, you know. And let me tell you what I did. So, and I'm proud of my accomplishments in sports. I can't name that school that bit. What's the school up there? What at right behind the old Dairy Queen?
Houston.
Houston, yeah, Houston. Yeah. I coached Houston elementary football. Me and a friend of mine, when we were going to school, his name was Charles Walker. We took 22 kids, had never seen a football, and won 15 games straight. We got a trophy up in that school now, a Baptist Tower, where we won the championship, you know. And I look at these kids back then, you know, and they're black and white. I coached black and white, you know, we was a mix, you know. And I look at them, some of them going to be lawyers, some of them going to be judges, some of them, you know, teachers, and, you know. I look at these kids nowadays and remember their names and stuff, you know, and then, hey, I taught that kid how to play football. I taught that kid how to do this, you know. And that's what I want to be known for, is helping somebody, you know, along the way. And that's what people need to do today, you know. Help these folks, you know, no matter who they are, what, like I say, you know, sit them down and talk to them and then encourage them to be somebody. Encourage them to make something out of their life, you know. And be a family and stick together as a family. Work in your community, you know. Bring up your community and help it to be somebody, you know. And a good place to live and a good role model for other people. That's how I want to be looked at in Houston, looked at in history, as a man who helped anybody.
Thank you. I just got one question. You seem so positive. How were you able to overcome the obstacles you face in life? Because you just stay, you're positive.
Well, let me go back when I was going to East Texas State University, and I was majored in animal science. And I started school 2 weeks late. And I didn't have the books that we need, you know, for that. But it happened to be an old rancher. I was the only black in this class. And it happened to be this old rancher. He took a liking to me for some reason, you know. And on break and at lunch period, he would give me his books and let me study his books on break. So we had this lady instruct. I never will forget a Betty. She was about your size, about your height. And she told me I wasn't going to make it in her class. She was determined that this black boy, you know, back then I know how she used the N-word. I ain't going to make it in this class. He's the only black. He ain't going to make it. Y'all, every test that I took, I made 98. Never failed under 98. When it come to the end of the semester, she gave me a 76 and flunked me. Now, I'm a straight A student. She gave me a 76 at the end of the semester and flunked me. I took that to the dean. I'm not thinking back to his name of Dean Moore, if I'm not mistaken. I took all my paperwork, all my test scores, and I took it to the dean. You know he wouldn't help me. He told me there ain't nothing he could do. Now that's an abstract line. And so what I did then, since I couldn't make it in animal science, I went into business management. And that's where I learned business management. I stopped taking the animal science course and I went into business management, you know. And that's how I got my business management degrees and education like that. Doing like it because she was determined that this black ain't gonna make it. And she saw that I did make it in her class or in that field. But I made it in business, and like I said, I was in business management for 43 long years, you know. And that's something abstract I had to come over because people were still prejudiced back then. Another occasion I had when I was in Dallas, you know, a business manager, and they were looking for a supervisor in a security department. So I took my resume, and then my resume would be long from here to that wall, and all the experiences and education I had. And they had this white guy in there. He seen my resume, and I'm watching y'all. He took my resume up and threw it in the trash, and told me, "You want my boss's job?" I said, "No, sir. All I want to do is just find me a little something to do to pass time away or make a little extra money." But you know that man kept me from getting that job because he looked at my resume, and I know he said in his mind, "This black boy too smart. He got too much education." And I had to overcome a lot of obstacles and things in my life, you know, in business management mostly.
If you could summarize your life, or either summarize this meeting, how would you encourage others?
I would main thing was encourage, get an education. Get you an education. Use what you learn and be somebody. Don't be a deadbeat. Get out there, work hard, and be something and be somebody. But most things, get that education. Because that education is what's going to take you to. And when you get that education, make sure you use common sense while you got it. Don't look out for me, myself, and I, but help somebody else along the way. That's what we need to do.
I want to thank you very much, but I want to ask one more question.
All right.
Of all these questions. We talked about segregation, integration, and things that's going on. But let's come to today. Do you feel, as an African American, young people are better off today than they were doing segregation?
Well, in a way, yes, and in a way, no. Because see, back when I was coming up, back in those days, you know, we didn't have a choice to go to school and get an education. Our parents raised us, you know, go to school, you know, get an education. And back then, we had to bring our report card home to let mom and daddy look at it. And if it went up to par with mom and daddy thought to, they put that leather on you, you know, to make sure that you got it. But kids nowadays, parents, and I'm gonna say it's the school system and the parents, because I can tell you some instances. Obviously, no, I own some property up in Honey Grove. I got a $67,000 house up in Honey Grove, you know. And when I was up there, you know, my youngest son was going to school, and I would go to school and I sit in the back of the classroom, and I watched the teachers, how they do those black kids. Those black kids was come to school. They weren't dressed nice or something like every other kid. God is my witness. I seen some of these black kids when they come to class, they didn't have like food to eat or stuff like that. And I would go buy them kids lunchtime. I'd take my money and buy those kids lunch and stuff. But I sit in that classroom and watch these teachers. Little girl was laying on her desk, you know, just like this here. She'll bring the paperwork around and put it on the little girl's desk. She wouldn't try to get the little girl up to do her work or nothing, you know. She just put it on her desk and gone about her business. Didn't care if that child learned A or B, you know, and I watched that, you know, in these school systems. And matter of fact, in the school system in commerce, it was not a black teacher a black picking up paper, nothing. It was all white, and they was prejudiced. You hear me? They was prejudiced because I had some instances when I went to. Matter of fact, it was two twin brothers. One owned a grocery store, one owned a hardware store. You know, I went in the grocery store one day, and it was crowded. And I had got my basket of groceries and everything, and it was empty. What you call it?
Checkout station.
Checkout stand empty. So I went over there and I stood over there. So this old, you forgive me for my French, I'm just plain spoken. This old white man worked in the store. He told me, he said, "Ain't nobody over there." I said, "Well, you get somebody over here." That's just what I told him. And everybody in the store stopped the store looking at me because they said, I know what they said, where did this nigga come from? You know, we never seen him before. This lady came, the owner of the store. She came out of her office, came in there and waited on me. And every time I would go in that store, she would come wait on me. You see, I got it. Then I went to the hardware store, and I had bought my house, and I had my nephew to come up and rewire my house, and I needed some wire. So I went down to the hardware store, and I wanted to, I never will forget, the wire came in a yellow and black box, about like this. And so I told him, I said, I need a box of that wire over there. And so he went and got the wire, and he gonna charge me $30-something for that box of wire. So I told him, I said, I can buy this same box of wire, same color in Greenville for $15. He told me, he said, "You ain't in Greenville." Y'all, bit is my business. I took that box of wire off the counter, and I took it and I threw it and hit him right in the chest with it, and said, "I know the way to Greenville." Right up, and they closed now. But every time I would go in that store and did it all, he'd run to me to see what I wanted. You know, because I told him like this here. I said, "These people in this town are scared of y'all." I said, I'm not scared of you. I said, "I ain't scared of no white folk." That's just how I told them. I said, "I'm not scared of nobody, you know, but Jesus Christ." You know, and they couldn't believe it, man. When I go in that store, they run to me and see what I wanted. This old wife one time tried to sell me, I'm not lying, y'all. These screws were 2 cents a piece. She tried to sell them to me for 6 cents a piece. You know, and I went back and got the box. Probably, you see what it say on that box? 2 cents. You know, and her husband told him, "Oh, that's they 2 cents." You know, I've had to come a lot of old obstacles in my lifetime. You know, people being prejudiced and stuff like that, and I had to overcome that. But you overcome badness with goodness. You know. So I'm a man that speaks my peace. I'm not afraid to speak my peace. I won't hold my tongue or nothing. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
But like she said, you're still positive today.
You're still positive. What keep coming to my mind, I see the sign, the blackest land, the whitest people.
You know, right across the Lee Street, up there downtown. Yeah, the blackest land. Now, I'm going to tell y'all where that sign is if they hadn't moved it. If you go in the courthouse and you know where you go up those stairs, right behind them stairs, that sign is in back there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The blackest land, the whitest people.
People from out of town would travel to Greenville and they'll go back to their home and tell their story, how terrified they were in Greenville. How did the residents of Greenville feel about it?
Well, the residents of Greenville was a prejudice sign. It was a prejudice sign, and that's how most of us felt, that it was a prejudice. What we actually, they were saying, the blackest folks, the whitest people. That's what we look like it was saying. That means, you know, because Greenville is black land, you know, and that's what we always thought was meant, and that's what we had them take it down, you know. And then people that come to town from now, that some people still remember that they signed the blackest land of the whitest people.
They do.
Because at the courthouse, on the east side of the courthouse, they had 2 water fountains. You know, the water fountain on the left-hand side where black folks drink. That one on the right hand where the white folks drink from. Now they know no further part of you and I, but you better not be caught drinking out of white folk water fountain. You know, you had to go drink out of the black folk water fountain. And that's where it was in the city of Greenville. You know, it was very prejudiced. Very. Do you remember when the Ku Klux Klan came here?
What year was that?
That was back in the late 70s?
No, tell me.
The Ku Klux Klan came here. You remember when they was burning those churches?
Oh, yes.
The Ku Klux Klan came in, but the Klan that came here, they was the kind of like a good Klan, you know. And they had a rally down there at the courthouse, you know. So all the black people, white people, everybody, they was over across the Lee Street, and wouldn't nobody go over there on the side of the courthouse where the Klan was. So I went over there. And so I started talking to him, and I asked him, could I join the Klan? You know, I'm serious. And they told me, no, you're the wrong color. I said, well, I believe in the same thing y'all believe in. I said, you believe you white folks should marry white folks. I said, I believe white folks marry when black should be married. You know, so I stood over there and talked to them. And boy, they gave me a bunch of memorabilia, man. I used to keep it for a long time that they gave me. I just wasn't afraid to speak up or talk to nobody. You know, and then after they left, the old bag Klan came in. And then all the black and white kids, everybody stuck together and run them out of town.
I remember that when they ran them out of town. Yeah. So Greenville is changing, you think? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's changing a lot.
Okay. Any questions for us?
No, not really, you know, but I just think that most people ought to come together. You know, they ought to all come together for one common cause. You know, and that's to teach the other folks, most of the young folks, you know, teach them to get an education, teach them to use that education, use their common sense, not run the streets in these gangs, smoking this dope with the clothes hanging all off of them and stuff like that. That's not good for society. That's not good for them. You know, and whether y'all know it or not, let me tell you where that hanging in pants come from. You know where it come from?
Which one?
You know where it come from? With your pants hanging out there?
Prison.
Prison.
Really?
That's where it came down. Because from prison, back in prison today, you know, if you were weak, what they would do, they would make you take their finger and hook it in their boot lip, pant loop. And when you seen that mean that person was gay. They was a sissy, you know, and their pants hanging out down like that. That's where that came from, prison. And I've told a lot of children things about like that, you know, but it doesn't make any sense. Still don't make no sense. But I'm gonna tell you, my children, and go to my witness, I call my children run around with their pants hanging down, their shoes on inside. I beat them off of them right to this day, because my children are not gonna go around looking slouchy with their pants hanging on down, smoking dope, you know, stuff like that. I don't believe in that. I try to teach children the right way in which, as a matter of fact, my son Warren, as Betty mentioned a while ago, he's the only pastor that I knew in the city of Greenville. When you went to his church, you better have a belt on. You better not have no earrings in your ear, no boys, and them little girls better not come up with no shorts on, no dresses on. If you did, he'll send you home. And my son, God is my witness, you ask anybody today, when you went to Mount Zion Baptist Church and you act up, my son and Michael Allen will whoop your butt. And the parents didn't say nothing. You didn't come to that church acting up and cutting up.
He's assistant pastor over at the Highland Terrace Church now. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, well, he teaches when his health got bad, when he quit pastoring at Mount Zion Baptist Church, and he went over to Highland Church, and over to Highland Church now. My son is well known in Greenville with white and black as a minister, and he went over there and right now, because he called me last night and told me, Daddy, I'm going to Bible study, you know, right now. Still, I said, son, if I didn't have to go to Dallas, you know, I had to go to Dallas yesterday to a doctor. I said I would go with you, but he teaches Sunday school and stuff over there right now. And I said, everybody in this town love Warren Dennis, Pastor Warren Dennis. They actually do. And me, y'all, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not bragging, but everybody in this town, white and black, they think I'm the world's greatest teacher. And I am.
So why don't you go ahead and do some bragging on yourself?
They tell my son, boy, we know where you got your teaching and preaching from your daddy.
I want to thank you so much for taking time to interview with us today. We really appreciate it. A lot of valuable information. Anything else you want to add before we end the discussion?
No, not really, but you know, I mostly just look at this younger generation, you know, and I wish it's something more that I can do, you know, to help them find their lifestyle instead of running around smoking dope and, you know, being in gangs and fighting and doing all that other stuff. I want them to get an education and be somebody. You can walk up and down the streets nowadays in any part of the town, not only the black kids, but the white kids, and you'll see it's pitiful the way they dress and the things that they do. They got their pants. I seen a kid one time, and it was a white boy. He was walking downtown, his pants hanging down to his knees.
I seen it too.
And I mean, it's just pitiful the way these kids nowadays, and the parents. I blame it mostly on the parents. You know what I do? And y'all, I preached a sermon one time. You know, it's not the boys in the hood, it's the parents in the house. And it's true. The boys in the hood is not their fault. It's the parents in the house, because they won't find out what their children are. They won't find out what their children doing. They running around doing the same thing their children doing. They trying to be. I wasn't no friend. I didn't run friend buddy with my children. I was daddy, you know, and they know that right today. I'm daddy. My kids are grown and got children. My kids still respect me today. You can give one of them $1 million to talk back to me. Not to this day. And my daddy was coming up. My daddy told us at 13, my dad would say this, he had a saying, some of y'all might kill me, but can't none of you avoid me. And that old man meant it.
Okay. Well, we're going to thank you very much.
And y'all, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let y'all go.
Okay.
Having 13 kids, you know, we never went hungry, not one for one day. My dad, right down there where we built an extra room onto a house. Back to south, maybe from Betty sitting back to that wall. And my daddy worked construction in Dallas. My daddy worked in ditches 30, 40, 50 feet deep. And during the winter, my daddy would buy groceries, and he would stack that shed, that storage room. When you went in that storage room, you thought you was in Safeway or Super One, but you never touched nothing in there until wintertime. And my dad seen to us that we always had food to eat, clothes to wear, and everything. And to say this, we had the first TV on College Hill, and we had the second car, automobile on College Hill.
That is wonderful.
Remember them old cars? You had to take the crank and crank it, get in the front of it and stick it in there and crank that car, put the engine around. Yeah, it took 2 people to crank that car. One had to be on the inside to mash that gas and pump it up, then get out there and turn that crank.
What model was that? I can remember the model.
Well, I guess it was back in the model back in the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
Because we had that kid. Because I was born in 1942.
Okay.
But we had the older model cars and stuff like that, you know.
Wow.
And you had to crank it with that crank. Yeah. And them the good old, I remember the good old days. I remember all the good old days. Like I say, I can go back 73 years, man, and tell you. From having 73 years to go back up until today. Yeah.
And that smile on your face is like, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm blessed.
I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay.
January 13, 1980.
Okay.
Okay, in my title of my first sermon, Turn Daniel Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
That come from the book of Daniel when Nebuchadnezzar had that dream
Mm-hmm.
and see all them things in the tree,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And my sermon was Turn Daniel Playhouse. And I've been teaching and preaching now for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't give it up for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And what church was that at?
Sir?
What church was that at?
Mount Zion Baptist Church. And for my son, my son pastored me. I was a pastor. My son was my pastor for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I preached all over Northeast Texas.
Mm-hmm.
All over Northeast Texas.
I really like that Turn Daniel Playhouse.
Mm.
And I remember one sermon you mentioned to me, But Peter.
But Peter,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember that one too. Yeah. Anything else?
I'm down out of home in Commerce. I have a house over here on Langford Street,
Uh-huh.
you know. And the Lord has blessed me for both of my homes are paid for.
Mhm.
I don't owe a penny,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And the truth say this here, that black truck sitting right there,
Mm-hmm.
I go make a payment on it tomorrow and then I won't owe $200.
All right.
I don't owe a man a penny.
Uh-huh.
But the
That's
scripture said, "Oh no man."
right. That's right.
You know,
Uh-huh.
and I'm truly blessed, you know.
Uh-huh.
All my kids have nice homes, nice cars, jobs, motorcycles, four-wheelers, you name it, horses, land. We got it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I raised them, you know, to be that way. Not to be a deadbeat,
Mm-hmm.
get you education, make something out of life and have something.
Mm-hmm.
And help somebody else on the way.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Picking cotton.
okay.
Yeah, we
So-
bought it brand new. Didn't nobody never live in it. Nobody have a foot in it.
Wow.
We bought it brand new, and they had it moved to that lot we bought there.
So was it a kit? Or was it a house already built that you moved to?
Yeah, house
Okay.
already built.
Okay, because Jessie told me the same thing about their house.
Uh-huh.
She said they bought a house really cheap back in the day. Huh?
Oh, let me tell you, I forgot about Jessie.
Okay.
Jessie Mae Barrier, she kept us kids in line. Jessie Mae Barrier was back then, you know, the women back then, they didn't wear pants. Jessie Mae Barrier would take her dress and she'd take the saber pin and put it between them and them look like culottes or pants. And boy, we thought we were bad and tough. Jessie Mae would get out there and throw us around and flip us around, boy. She kept us in line, man. I love me some Jessie Mae Barrier. All the kids on college here love Jessie
I
Mae
always
because
loved it.
she kept us in line.
Mm-hmm.
She let us know we wasn't tough, we wasn't bad. You know, Miss Jessie would straighten you out.
And she was real active in the NAACP. She worked with the youth
Yeah,
and the NAACP. Real active in the community.
yeah.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, Miss Jessie was something.
I was sitting there thinking about that yesterday. I said, boy, Jessie, the Lord didn't call her home out, but Jessie, boy, she used to keep us kids in line. She let us know you ain't tough.
You know, when I hear you talk, I'm here in the village. Everybody's coming together.
Yeah.
Just raising and taking care
That's
of
right.
each other, interlocking together.
Mm-hmm.
Now I heard one more story. I'm talking that, but the kids from they're telling me those in the flats in East Hill. They said they really didn't hang out over here much. So you guys are pretty much separated, except
Right.
for the baseball games.
See, each town, College Hill, Sugarland, East Hill, West End, East End, Coontown. Well, Coontown and Sugarland came together.
Okay.
You know, all of them things I organized it for each part of town would have their own baseball team. You know, and we played so many games. But at the end of the season, whoever won the most games would become the champion. And then the most valuable player would get a trophy.
Oh, okay.
You know, so when everybody got something. Everybody had some fun. Everybody had some prestige. You know, everybody had bragging rights.
All right.
You know.
All right then. Okay, thank you.
But if you go down Coon,
Keep talking.
you know,
Give her
if you
three.
like you, okay, you know what Coontown is, right?
Yeah, because there's major fields right
Do
here.
you know what that old
I always call it Sugarland. Transformer plant.
transformer plant? If you go down there, I think it's still there. that big art thing that it said Major Stadium. It's still there. From way back in the 40s. It's still there, the Major Stadium.
I just wish they would do something.
And Clyde Simmons organized all those professional baseball teams. And Clyde Simmons organized all of that.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could get some information on those professional?
And Buddy Bird, he played in that league. Clyde Simmons, all the guys around here played in that league.
Wonderful.
And we just didn't play in Greenville. We played Denison, Sherman, Dallas, Fort Worth. I mean, we were professionals. You know, they were out.
Oh, okay.
You hear everybody must be, but his name is Oscar Lee Davis.
But they're not the same person then. Big O and Oscar Lee.
Yeah, that's the same person.
Okay.
Everybody, but we always call him Big O.
Oh, okay. His name is Oscar. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His real name is Oscar Lee Davis, but everybody around here know him as Big O.
Okay. And we can go by Major Stadium first, and we can go down Coontown, and Sugarland would be our first town. So we'll go by that first.
See, Big O, he headed up, it was a deal called a CB club called the Rooster Challenge Jumpers.
Oh, okay. So tell me more about it.
Yeah, and they did the same thing, like help people buy stuff for children and things like that, an organization, you know, help churches and stuff like that, and mostly buy stuff for the children, clothes, and toys and stuff for Christmas time for the children. I'm trying to think of the name of that motorcycle club that he headed up, but I can't call it right now.
I just remember one was on 69 and
That's
another.
Big O. That was Big O. On 69.
Okay.
And Eddie Davis was right there now for Stonewall Street.
Okay. Stonewall when you're coming in from Commerce. Okay, I remember that one too.
Barnaby Cole and all of them.
And Puddin' Husband.
Martin, Marvin Cole, all of them, you know.
Gus Thomas. What's his name? Gus Thomas. Gus Thomas. Was it Gus Thomas Puddin' Husband? I'm trying to think of his name. The last name.
Who's husband?
Puddin'. Puddin' that live over on Wright Street.
Oh, Costonia.
Costomas,
Yeah.
They say he was part of the club as well.
He was part of the Mandingo Warriors.
Okay then. And then trying to miss the guy that sings in the church. He's part of the Minister Alliance, and I can't think of his name. Well, we getting old, Jim, because I can't think of these people's names. I'll just keep straight, so we can start explaining when we get to the neighborhood here. This is East Hill over here, John. The next street. When did East Hill start?
Well, after you start from right there and go back this way.
Okay.
Back this way and all to Johnson Street.
So O'Neill.
All this is East Hill.
Back east.
All
the way back east.
You think I need to circle around and show them where the old slaughter pen used to be?
Yeah, take it right.
Okay, I'll take it.
So we're turning on Jones Street.
This is East Hill, and this is where used to be houses everywhere. When I first came to Greenville, houses was everywhere in East Hill. It was the jumping community. I think East Hill thought they were more proud of their community than College Hill.
Now, we're going to go there and go show you where the old slaughter pen used to be. Walter Burr was the owner of that slaughterhouse.
Passing 2nd Street.
And they told me he used to give food away and took care of everybody in the community. Yeah, I was told that. Well, something is in the street. We may have to go around and make an extra block. We can go around.
I bet you get past it.
Yeah, we can get past it. Yeah.
Passing 3rd Street.
You know, have anybody told you about them William Boyd Chester and Claude?
No, they didn't touch them because they were construction workers. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's what they were. They were construction workers.
They built a lot of houses and buildings here. But I have to find somebody in the family to interview, and they're real talented too. I remember they told me they could sing, and the family was real talented. Now the air conditioner's working, John.
That's great.
Yeah, they're building a lot of houses. I'm glad of that. But a lot of people said they're priced out of range, Jim. They can't afford them.
Oh yeah.
That's why I've been
Did
there.
you know about them moving in and Mexican building them and Mexican moving in?
That's what somebody told me.
That's what's happening.
Uh-huh. Well, I know I go to the left here.
So we're turning north on 7th Street.
No, you go to yeah, that's right.
This Slaughter Pin.
Yeah,
Where's Slaughter Pin?
Oh,
Right.
next street over.
Next street
here.
over, okay.
on Hemp Hill.
Uh-huh. This Hemp Hill here should be. They said this street here went all the way out at one time. Did it ever go all the way out?
Yeah, it used to go to the highway at one time.
That's what
Seven.
It wasn't using not too long ago, but I guess
Uh-huh.
you know they just dropped it back up.
Right here,
Now,
John.
this was the slaughter pen
It's
right here.
It's to your right. Look small, but that's where the slaughter pen was.
They kill, I was thinking cows and pigs and everything right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right there.
So this is Hemp Hill Street, just
Yeah.
west of 7th Street,
Uh-huh.
on the north side.
And this is the slaughter pen. Well, it was a building here until about 2 years ago when Jim. Uh-huh. And they slaughtered pigs
Now,
and
them
cows.
Williams, they live right there on that lot right across from the slaughter pen.
The Williams.
They used to live right there.
Oh, Cloud Williams.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Okay, and we used to live right here on this lot right here.
Okay, you and your family.
Yeah, on
south
this
side of
lot right
Fifth
here.
Okay.
And Miss Jackson live across the street right here.
I knew some of the Jacksons. So it was houses everywhere down up in here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you want to go by that old school?
One time I went by there, I couldn't get through. Can you get Booker T School?
Booker T.
It still
Washington.
stands.
Now we're going north off of Hemp Hill Street. I'm ready for the video, so.
Okay. So maybe this is not the street I couldn't get through. Yeah, this one I can get through. One day I went somewhere, Jim, I had to back up.
You probably down in Sugar Lane. What you talking
I
about?
had to back up. So where am I?
I know what you talking about. You went.
Uh-huh. It sure was in Sugar Lane, that big old
Yeah.
hole in the street, yeah. Coming up, John, we coming up on Booker T. Washington School. This is the school a lot of the African American kids went to here in Greenwood before integration. And it wasn't that old when they tore the school down.
Now was this
Was the first through
so
8,
is
John?
this it right here?
Yeah, this is it right here. Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington. And here's a historic sign when you come up. I'm going to come up so you can see it a little bit better.
And was this only a high school, or was this?
No, the elementary.
Elementary, I think 1 through 8, I believe.
So was there ever a Booker T High School?
No. What Carver the high school, Jim?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
this is the school that Reverend Faulkner said he taught at until they closed
Yes,
it
it
down.
was Fred Douglass.
Uh-huh.
So this same school was Fred Douglass at one time?
So what now?
Was it the same as Fred Douglass?
Yeah,
Douglass.
this is the same Fred Douglass and Booker T. Washington. It's the same.
Same building.
Yeah, you see that sign up there to Fred Douglass Elementary School?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Can you see that?
I do see it.
Okay. Do I need to come up some more?
No, you're good.
Okay. Now, what I was told, John, this school wasn't that old when they tore it down, when they closed it. They said it was built in 54 and they closed it because the white kids that wanted to come over here in 66 and 67, they said it wasn't 10 years old when they closed it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea it was still here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they tore down there's one down in Northtown.
Oh, yeah, on Clark Street.
Yeah.
I can show John that too. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the street I was on. That was a horrible street. And we coming up on Carter Temple, CME churches. A lot of CME churches are really old. I'm trying to see. We see the landmark here. No, that's 1957. Usually they're old. The CME churches and most African American communities are really old churches. They're some of the first churches.
Mm.
You need to window back down.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Claude pastor this church.
And for a long time. Anthony Word. I know that name. Okay. God, if it wasn't, if I could show him the cemetery, the black
Hey, you
cemetery.
know what? We got something wrong.
What's wrong?
Booker T. Washington is the one in Dortown.
So which one was this one?
That's Fred Douglass.
Oh, okay. Okay then. So we got to get that straight. Okay. The cemetery. Can we go? How far can we go on this side and show him where the black people were buried? We can't.
Can't go through there.
We can't. Anyway, John, in the beginning, the black people could not use this side over here, and they could only use the side over here. And now we're in the process of expanding the cemetery because all of it is filled up. And the city bought more land towards the back, and they're going to start expanding the cemetery. This is the black section over here.
Okay.
The blacks can use the other part of the cemetery. But now, I think they bought another, I'm going to say another 15 acres, but they only can use like 7 of it. So many of the acres is in the flood zone. Because a lot of people now, because of no place to bury except for Grundy's, and that's outside the city limits, and they wanted to be buried here, so the city brought up the extra land.
Okay. Wow.
It was a rough road, let me tell you. We're gonna make it down there by Major Stadium pretty soon. Then Jim, the outline, he can give an outline of the land and the streets of our neighborhood. We're fighting for decent streets.
Yeah.
All we're fighting. There's a little house right there, Jim.
But you know, they come in and they build all these houses and they tear up the streets.
Oh yeah, and halfway put them back together. And this is still East Hill, right?
Yeah.
This is still East Hill. When I first came to Green back in '86, I'll tell you, houses were everywhere up and down the street right here. There was a lot of life here. And I guess what happened is when the children grow up, they leave, they move.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they don't keep it up.
They sell the land out and everything.
I remember some of my church members lived off in there. I think I'm hitting every hole in the street.
Good thing you have good shocks.
Man, I'm just running these holes out. Can't miss them.
You know, Claire Davison, you know, he lived over on Imperial Street.
Okay, yeah. You know, when I was hanging out with Bill Glenn and that group, I used to go see him. He told me a lot of stories and showed me some of his awards, but he wouldn't agree to any interviews. Is his wife still living?
Yes, well, I think she still lives there.
Now Pam is helping me with some of the interviews. Pam said she's gonna try to go see if she can, if the wife would let her.
Pam Mack.
Because she know me, but she doesn't know me that well. You know, she always hugged me in the grocery store, but she knows Pam.
Yeah, me and Pam, we feel close.
Oh, okay, so Pam.
She used to come ride me when I was a police officer. She was an airline.
She told us that she was an airline student back then. Okay, John, you know where we are now, right? Because that was Reverend for the church when we went to the other day. Oh, let me show John the old Grundy Funeral Home.
Okay.
Okay. The name is not here anymore, John, and I think they're gonna tear the building down. But right here is the old Grundy Funeral Home.
I thought I saw a sign the other day.
Oh, maybe it's still up. Okay.
You got it up for sale.
It's up for sale. Right. Yeah, it is still. It's one of them still up. Grundy. That's the old Grundy Funeral Home. I would think I need to look the window down for you.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, one of the first funeral homes. But someone said there was another one before Grundy. You remember another one, Jim?
But there haven't nobody in Kozai.
Oh, okay.
That was the only 2 until
Okay.
what McCullough got hurt.
Okay, Emily. Okay. I don't know about this street, but they put a house on every corner, huh?
Every little hole they can find.
Put a house.
They lay the foundation Monday and then Tuesday and Wednesday somebody moving there.
I know.
Man, that's the old flour mill right there.
Can we go through there? That road
Robin
there?
Hood Flour.
Is that road decent?
Where you used to make all the flour and ship it all over the world.
Okay, let's see how decent the road is. You know what? Deborah talked about the old flour mill.
Yeah.
Okay, John, this is the old flour mill.
Called Robin Hood. It was called
Robin Hood Flour.
Okay.
And they said they made all the flour and shipped it all over the world. We want to live here.
It's a feed mill now.
Okay. You got it? Okay. Look, Jim, they're going to put that line, so they get ready to put something, that sewage line.
Yeah, you go back to the right here, you can get a good picture of it.
Okay, we're going to go back. Because until we get over and go to the major field. And this is Eastside Church of Christ there. Is that an older church? That's been around long?
No, that church there from out of West End.
Oh, okay.
And they built this one over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all this old Robin Hood flour mill.
Oh, okay. And John, Jim gonna tell you about Coontown. I don't know Coontown. He gotta tell you about it when we get up here.
Okay.
See, all of this here Robin Hood flour mill.
Jim, I kept thinking why I didn't know the flats. It was gone when I got here.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't figure it
Yeah,
out.
that's just the flats all up in there.
All this was a flat.
And so there used to be a lot of businesses over there on Johnson Street, Jackson Cab Company, ice cream parlor.
Wait a minute, the flat started where? All this was the flat here?
Yeah, all this was the flat.
I cannot remember to save my life. I don't remember the flat. So they took all this right
Turn
here.
left right.
Oh, for the.
This
For,
flat. I'm sure all over the flat.
okay.
So
Okay.
the flats start here and go south?
On the flat still here, you can go south, yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I couldn't visualize the flats to save my mind. Okay, show me. How far did it go?
We're on Pickett Street right now.
The flat.
The flats, we're going to start right here and go back.
You want me to turn back that way?
And your Johnson Street, go Johnson.
I'll go
Because
Johnson.
everything was on Johnson Street.
Okay, let me get the Johnson then. But I can't. Is Johnson one way?
Yes,
Going
one
the wrong
way.
way, so I can't really get on.
Well, actually, from this corner here all the way back with the flats.
Okay.
It was an ice cream company all over in there. And
The barbecue, where the barbecue
Cab
place
company,
is.
barber shops.
All this was the flat.
All that was the flats.
Okay, then they put the overpass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, maybe I can make the
Now,
second.
see, the hot link stand, it was down here.
Oh, they moved that. Okay.
Yeah.
It was down in the square, right? Market Square?
Yeah, A
Okay.
two-story building.
Okay. So let's make a blog so John can see it. Okay, now all this was the flats,
No,
right?
all this was
Then,
flats.
okay. Now, I'm gonna make a block so we can.
Fitzpatrick was originated down here.
And what? Tell me. You mentioned a cab stand.
Yeah.
Tell me about the.
You remember
cab.
Snuffy lived in there where you live?
Oh yeah, my neighborhood.
Yeah, he owned the cab company.
He owned that. Oh, you told me. I thought you just worked for it. Him and Tarver, June Tarver.
Yeah.
Where was all that?
It was right like
Cab
over on
stand?
it was over on this side.
Okay.
You on this side when you come back down the overpass.
Okay.
Oh, there was them buildings and things over there.
Okay. And what about other businesses down here? All this was the flat. So they just took over the flat.
It was the Fairbanks Valley Ice Cream Company. Okay, what was that cab company? Yellow Cab Company. And then they had Bobby. Dino used to cut hair down there.
Okay, Dino had a barber
He used
shop.
to go down there cutting hair with
All in this area back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back left right here.
Okay. I always go to the light because I could never get out right here. And the S&H Green Stamp place was here. I remember that.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was.
It was either one of these buildings or the other building. I think it was in the other building on the other side. Was this church always here?
Yeah,
Okay, it was always in the flats. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, turn here to make
Mhm,
Johnson. Johnson Street was part of the flats. Okay. Now I vaguely remember when the streets came on Cross. I vaguely
Yeah.
remember this.
So this wasn't none of this here then.
Okay. Okay. And the church was always there. New Hope was always
New
there.
Hope was always there.
Okay. Okay then. Now the criminal justice building. Okay, the Johnson over
And
here.
there was barber shops and taxi cab and stuff was all the way over here on this line.
Oh, okay.
Taxi cab company, Saving Valley Ice Cream Company was on this corner right here.
Oh, okay. Right
Yeah.
along in here with the
Yeah.
ice cream. Okay. See, I can remember what that Sabine ice cream was. I always thought, okay.
And Fitzpatrick was right in there too.
You need to turn here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we need to go this way to go
Yes.
to the
No.
Yep,
Major
yep,
field.
you do.
Coontown.
major field?
Major field, turn.
Yeah, turn
Oh,
right
okay.
here.
Okay. Well, I don't see nothing. Okay.
Yeah, your left hand lane.
Okay. And wasn't the barbecue place right over there somewhere, the hot link stand?
Yeah, what that red building
Right
there right
there.
there?
That's what, okay. That was
It
the
was a
hot link.
old two-story building there.
Okay.
Oh, where Angel's Pie is now?
Yes, that was the hot link stand that they talk about a lot.
You get a stop sign, go right.
Okay. And next stop, John's gonna be at Major Field, so you can see that
Okay.
too.
The old Crawford Smith been here
Forever.
forever.
They said Crawford Smith and another Treadway furniture.
Yeah, Treadway.
That way, only places you can get credit.
Yeah, Treadway was a grocery store.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the sign's still up there.
Still there. Let John get a picture of it when we get down here.
So when we get up there, I'll
Okay.
roll the window down, take a picture of it.
Okay.
This is right here.
Okay.
All of that back in there was a baseball field.
Is that a good angle? Do I need to bag up?
No, it's good. Hold on.
Okay. So, explain Coontown. Where did Coontown start?
Okay, we're going to go back down there.
Okay. To my, which street? Take this or here or the next? This is Henry. Or take the next one?
Let's see. Go left here.
Henry Street. Okay. Okay. See, they built these two houses here. I'm just wondering all those transformers, all that good. And build another one just right next to her house.
And we got to go back to the left.
Okay.
You remember Johnson's old place?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go
Okay.
left right here.
Okay. You know we got new police, we got new fire station right here.
Got a what?
Fire station is new.
Oh yeah, I remember they built that. See, my brother used to own all of this right here.
Back in the, it was in late 90s or 2000.
Yeah.
They been about 20 years ago.
He owned all this property right here.
I'm turning it all the way to the all the way to the brown building. Didn't he own the brown building too?
No, he owned that one. He
Okay,
owned
just
all the way
all
back
that
to-
back there. Okay.
Not
Yeah,
this
yeah,
part.
we go down Lee Street, not sure what he owned down there on Lee.
Okay. We'll come back up and see how we're gonna do that. Lee is. Okay, you want to go down Lee? Then we'll miss Coontown.
That's Coontown right back here, right behind this building.
Okay. Okay.
So we went around Coontown then.
Well, let me
Stop here for a minute.
Okay.
So here in the street,
Uh-huh.
what is that part of where the
Bill,
trolley used to be?
the what?
The trolley used to go down right here?
The trolley. I don't know where the
tracks
trolley
are?
went.
You see the tracks in the street?
Yeah, I see that right there. But Jim, what was the trolley? You know, they had. I know it was on Lee Street. The Charlie. How many streets did it go on?
Charlie went, but now I remember, it went from well, we know you had the bus, street bus.
Yeah.
It went from right here all the way out to Galway Hill. You know what I'm telling you?
On 69. I went to 69.
Yeah.
Okay. So did it start out down here somewhere?
So are the tracks in the road part of the trolley, or is that part of a railroad, or?
See the tracks in the road here? I don't know what that is.
Me either.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Jim, which way you want us to go?
Well, left.
Left? Okay. And this is what they call, show us Coontown.
This Coontown.
Right here. Okay. And then so far it goes, then it comes into a Sugarland. Okay.
There's all this in here. It's Coontown.
Okay. What about this street here too?
Henry, yeah, it's part of Coontown.
Okay. Well,
we just went up through there.
yeah, we can take the next street down here. This is Church Street. So Church Street is Coontown.
Okay.
Yeah, see, Paul, you probably got stuck at Betty when you was trying to go around there.
Right there.
Right around through there. Yeah.
And again, John, when I first came to town, there was houses everywhere. A lot of them are torn down. I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah, I used to own this house.
This yellow one here.
This house is haunted. As sure as there's a God in heaven, this house is haunted.
So who was it? A woman or a man or?
Now, when me and my kids live here, you know, and you can see something go through there. You see a shadow go through there.
Wow.
Wow.
Man, you ask my kids right there, Dave, you tell me the house not haunted, they'll fight you. It is haunted, I'm telling you what I'm at. You know my wife Jacqueline, don't you?
Yeah, I remember her.
Training all the ass scam, they'll tell you.
Wow. Yeah, I think they're gonna build. I think they bought all this land. They're gonna build more
Yeah.
houses.
Oh, they been about another month. All these be houses down through here.
And take us back to Sugarland. Take us back to the church too.
Okay, now when you get over here, right over here, see this Coonstown stops right here.
Okay.
Go back here where you're in Sugarland when you turn right.
Okay, we finna turn right to Sugarland.
So Coontown and Sugarland were
Right together.
right next to each other.
Right next to each other.
Okay.
And now we're going to Sugarland, but Jim, we can't go straight. Can we go out? Can we go that?
Not unless we can go down to that next street and take a left.
Okay, let's do that because
Because they got this blocked out right here.
So what street are we turning on?
Stewart, I believe.
That's for them John Masons. They was all there.
We were on
The
Stewart.
Masons. Okay. So, this one's new too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on Borland Street now.
Okay. No, then we was on Stewart before I turned in. Okay, we're on Borland and Gordon.
Make sure you can turn before you turn.
Okay.
Now all this down through
No,
there.
it's not blocked off.
It's Sugarland.
Let me see. Is that blocked?
No, it doesn't look like it's blocked.
No, I think I can get through.
Okay.
So all this back, it doesn't go around.
This way here go that way in the Sugar.
Okay.
From that street right over there,
Uh-huh.
back this way in Sugarland.
Okay. Over here is Reese Davis' mother house too. I'm gonna show it to you, John.
Okay.
Is it this one here, Jim? Is it the
Yeah,
next
that one
house?
right there.
This house right here is what Reese Davis' mother lived.
Okay. Talking about. Okay.
Sugarland.
Not Roz Lane.
No, Roz'
Roz.
first husband, mother. Is that right, Jim?
Yeah.
Rosalind's first husband's mother
Okay.
lived
Okay.
here. Boy, they really building this up. Someone told me to come ride through Sugarland. Okay. Back to the right, Jim.
Yeah, back to the right.
Okay.
So we're going to turn right on Polk Street. We were on Gordon.
And we're still in Sugarland.
Still in Sugarland.
Because I know the houses.
My son, I was talking about a while ago, past the church.
We're coming up on this mountainside.
We're coming up on the church now.
Okay. And this is Bodark Street.
Bodog Street.
So this is a church that your son.
My son pastored here, and I did too.
Mount Zion.
Okay. Can I get a picture real quick?
I pastored there, and then my son got it. He's pastored there.
And then can you get the sign too?
Yes. So I'm
They lived somewhere over here.
Back over there.
Oh, okay. I know it's in Sugar Land. So that's the only people I knew lived in Big Red.
You know them both worlds live right there.
Oh, I didn't know where the boat was. But then the other sister lived here.
You can go down this
Go
way.
down here? Okay.
We're still in Sugar Land.
Okay, all this is Sugar Land. I'm still in. I knew the girl that she got her apartment. She moved. Okay, like this is their new hangout. So I know how to find them now.
Yeah, when they clearing that field out there.
Let me speak to him. Hey, Cat.
there.
Hey. All right. All this is still Sugar Land. And houses. The Browns lived over here. I used to come to the lady that was a Brown.
Yeah.
I used to sit on her front porch and talk to her. I ain't going up off of them because they clear. They're building houses down here, which is good, John, in my opinion. But they're just not afford. People, a lot of people don't have money, just can't afford it. They added to this, and they really did a lot of work on this. Which way? Where are we going now, Jim?
Oh, just let's go there.
Okay.
Now that's your washout over there.
You think you need to see washout, and then I come up through Dorktown?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do washout. Okay.
So we're turning on Stewart. We're on Anderson. We're turning on Stewart. Turning north on Stewart.
Now, really, they call it the washout. They used to come down and get people out with boats.
Boats. The first year I lived here, I couldn't believe it. You remember when that lady lived over there when they had them 3 houses, they would flood? They said, oh, snakes come in all the time, like it was no big deal.
Yeah. This is the washout.
All this is called washout.
Got into that building there and then went all them cars.
Okay. And all this flooded. So you heard those stories about it flooding, haven't you, John?
They still do.
It's still flooded.
Wow.
When they opened up number 4, they flooded out this neighborhood.
Wow, I didn't.
And number 4, there's too far to go show the number 4, isn't it? But I can show him this right here. Okay, John, we coming up on number 4 and all that. But they opened up the gate and all this floods.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is Sabine River over here?
Is that Sabine over there?
Yeah, the 70 is right there.
Okay. I've seen times you couldn't even cross the bridge over there.
Now, this still floods, John.
There's still flood. There's nothing, when they opened up number 4, nothing but water. Because all back off in here is, what they call it, the reservoir?
Yeah.
It's the reservoir back off in there. And they flood this whole
The
neighborhood.
reservoir back down off in there for the water plant. But when it rained, man, it
floods everything.
All over here.
Everything.
It's just like a lake.
You can't travel. You can't travel what's past Albert
They
Hill's.
block it out right here. You can't go no further.
No further. You can't go down. All this. Oops, my line. Now you want me to come up Dorktown now and keep showing them?
Yeah, go left right here.
Okay.
So this is Wright Street.
We're turning on Wright Street, and we coming
in Dorktown.
We coming up on Dorktown. Now, what is it? This floods here. All this flood too.
No, that don't flood right in there.
Okay.
Now that's my church right there, John. That's where I belong to church.
This is New Jerusalem.
Okay.
It moved from the West End to right here.
Yeah.
It was originally in the West End.
Okay.
Okay, I get it. Okay, you got it? Okay. Okay. And what is that neighborhood over there? Is that still Dorktown?
That's still Dorktown.
Oh, that's Dorktown. Okay. What are Dorktown stores? So we can show them at the beginning.
Started over there on Johnson Street. Come back this way.
Oh.
So Dorktown the east side was Johnson Street. What did you say?
Yeah. Well, I thought it started on Wesley, but it doesn't matter. Wesley and Johnson are streets together. Should I go up? Which way to go?
Yeah, go back this way.
Okay.
Because you go all the way back down Wright Street back that way, that's Dorktown.
Okay.
Turning west
And
on
over
Dalton.
there, that's called, come on.
Okay.
That's McAllen Church right there.
Yeah, Mount Elam.
Oh, man, what I'm going to call that little area right over there.
It ain't washout, because we already did washout Dorktown.
Come to me in a minute.
Okay, well, I'll let it come.
There's a little section over there they got.
Okay.
So all this is Dorktown.
All this is Dorktown
All the
here.
way
Okay.
back down through that dark town.
Is
To the
that
north of Darktown as
Back to
well.
Walnut Street.
back to okay?
To what street?
Walnut.
Walnuts.
Okay, we're gonna come up on Walnut in a minute.
Okay. This is Sale Street.
Oh, this is dark town.
Yeah, all this is. Dorktown is really large. That's why I figured I'm gonna need to show you Dorktown. And John, when I was telling Jim, I said I'm gonna bring you to Walnut Street. We finna come up on Walnut Street.
Okay.
That's where Dorktown ends, right at Walnut Street, right? Is that right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we go down Walnut Street, we're gonna go to back there, it's College Hill.
College Hill. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, when I get up here. And then you know the park is back here to your right.
Which park is that?
Oh,
Graham Park,
Richard
yes.
Graham.
Grand Park, right.
Back to your right.
Okay.
Now, this is Walnut. You start College Hill right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Start from 69, not 69, what name is that street back there, John?
That's Sockwood Boulevard.
Sockwood.
Well,
Okay.
really it's 69 too.
Okay, this is 69, okay. Okay, this is the begin. Wait a minute. To your left is the beginning of College Hill, right?
Mhm.
On the whole street.
Okay.
Okay. I noticed they had the stripe here. When they do
Now to the right.
that? Okay.
To the right is College Hill.
Oh yeah, to the right is College Hill. What street we should show him? Take him on. Or we want to go all the way to Lee.
Yeah, we can go. We'll go.
Or take one of these streets.
You know, Fleeta live right over there.
Yeah, Fleeta's gonna be next week. We're gonna do her next
Oh.
next Friday. When I first came to town, this was a very attractive street when I first came to town. Like
Yeah.
Walnut
So
Street.
that's the new Grundy's Funeral Home. It's called Grace and Mercy
Yeah.
now.
Now that's what started out as Grundy's. Now it's Grace and Mercy.
Hold on.
Funeral Home. Can you get it?
This started out as Grundy's, and now it's Grace and Mercy.
Okay.
Now Keith Cozine on that.
Yeah. And Emily, when she interviewed, she mentioned Keith Cozine when she done her interview.
Okay, all back down that way is College
College
Hill.
Hill.
I can tell you we can go show you.
Well, give me a street to turn on, boy.
Go on board,
Okay.
and we'll go up in Washington
And you know
Heights.
that's Houston School. You know where you're at now.
Yes.
Okay. They told me this should be a doctor's house right here.
Yeah, I stood by that house one time.
It's big and roomy.
Yeah, the whole bathroom and all, and there's nothing but marble, pure marble.
Wow.
Yeah, see, oops, I didn't see that hole. All this is Washington, but I'm gonna take him over to College Hill.
Okay.
This College Hill. Take him over to Washington Heights. Yeah, I make sure I
Right.
do. That's Lena right there.
Straight through.
Okay.
That's my sister.
His sister-in-law, and his
You
brother.
see this house right here?
The
The guy that lived in that house, he the one invented the aloe vera plant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got it in the basement.
I got aloe vera on my front porch.
Somebody getting a haircut out in their front yard.
Fleeta's back there, yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
Fleeta's back that way, yeah.
Now Fleeta right there.
Oh, right this street. Okay, I know she's in this neighborhood there.
See Fleeta right there.
Yeah, Langford Street. Okay. Can't remember the name of this. All this is College Hill.
College Hill.
All this. We should have showed them through the neighborhood, but we'll be back through here, John, on next week when we
Okay.
come see Fleeta. We'll
Okay.
circle back through.
Okay.
College Hill. Oh, the school is out. I'm glad we're going the other direction.
This is Crockett Elementary.
This is Carver.
Carver Elementary.
Carver
That's
Elementary.
right. That's right. Wrong school.
And when Jim said when they first started building these new houses up here, they just called it College Hill. But if I had been on the upstreet, I could show them that college was. But we go back down this street.
Then when we cross this street here, we in the Heights.
Washington Heights.
Okay. And this street is
Utilities and
Utilities.
and Boiler. Now
Okay.
once we pass this, we're in Washington Heights.
Okay.
Okay, this is back in the late 60s. They started building all these new houses over there.
Right.
Yeah, this is in the late 60s. And this was College Hill, right? Washington Heights. I get it wrong. Washington Heights. Okay. So these are the older houses. I'm going to show you the newer houses too. And they're building more. College. I always get them wrong. College Hill, Washington Heights. Okay.
But we're north of.
Yeah.
We're north of Lee Street.
Right.
North of Lee Street.
So I thought College Hill was south of Lee Street.
Washington Heights.
Now we're in the Heights.
No, we're in the Heights now, but we just left College Hill, though, right?
Yeah.
So, but we're north of Lee Street.
But then over there is, I'm gonna show you. Where Jesse made them live. That's College Hill at Washington Heights. College Hill. Okay, what's over here, Jim? Where Jesse made them live. Was that Washington Heights or College?
That's College Hill.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna circle around and come back. I'm gonna show him all this.
Okay.
Because College Hill, we said earlier, was south of Lee Street. Now we're north of Lee Street. So is College Hill north of Lee Street or south of Lee
Wait a
Street?
minute. Well, it used to be all College Hill. That's what he told me earlier.
North and south.
And they just broke this down and made some of this Washington.
According to the high school, they build them heights.
Yeah. They built a new house.
It's still College Hill, but they just named it Washington Heights because they.
So College Hill did not end at Lee Street. It kept going north of Lee Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna circle around and come back. I can't come out of that circle. So I gotta. Well.
Yeah, you can go around this way and come back out over there.
I think I thought I could come back out. And I started looking and I'm like, they building and building.
Yeah, our building.
Yeah. Over here. Jim, look like they're gonna open all this right here.
Yeah.
All that. The only thing I don't like about all over here, they do not have gas out here on total electric houses.
Yeah, my house is electric as
Look at
well.
that little house right there, 145 there.
I know, but then people tell me they move here because it's cheaper than Roy City or any other place. Or maybe they're gonna put gas out here. Well, that was the biggest complaint. They didn't have gas out here. They breaking all that land up.
You know, there was a big old place too. They cleared all that out.
I ain't gonna try to call them because I get confused when I try to call them. You know, some of these houses are habitats for humanity. Do you remember when Mel was talking about habitat houses? Some of these were habitats.
Okay.
I don't know which one. I think it's on that street over there. And these are the apartments. Back in the day, they used to call them New Hope apartments because then New Hope Church helped get these apartments.
New Hope Church built those apartments from the ground up.
I remember. I lived there a couple of years. I liked those apartments.
I remember we used to have to run away McCall out.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead now. We can't go. Yeah. Oh, yes.
This is not a 3rd Street.
Yeah, I'm about to circle around. Habitat houses are over here. Because I came up here with Melba to about 2 houses. And this one is real pretty right here. They added
they done built all this stuff down through here now.
Yeah.
All this on both sides of the street.
I'm working on more. I'm just have to circle around and come out of here.
I think these habitat houses around and through here.
Yeah, because we toured several of them one time. I think I toured that one, that blue one. I don't remember the green, but I remember the blue one and one over here. There's that gray one right there. Okay.
Go back there right with. Go back and show them what
Sure.
that motorcycle club.
Okay then. So I go to the right. Okay.
Was one the Warriors?
Yeah. We're gonna show it to you. We had the swimming pool here. They had a daycare center here when I first came. Estella wanted me to get my daycare license so I could come out here to work at the daycare. And the tennis court and everything was just nice, which was $35. This is St. John Church. This is the church Hattie attends. It's a breakout from Bethlehem.
Okay.
Yeah, I had built that church there from the ground up. I used to manage the apartments right here.
Yeah, those I forgot these names. Something Villa.
Hacienda Villa?
And all this right in here is what that motorcycle club was.
Okay, we gotta turn around up
All
there.
the way right there.
And then we're gonna take him to College Hill, Washington. Well, we're taking to the other side of town. I always get it wrong. Which way can we turn?
Turn around right here.
Right here at this black turn over. Jim, I don't like you turning. I'm gonna do this number. No, I can't see. This side.
I got this right here.
Okay, what's on my side over here?
Come on, you good over there.
Okay. Oh!
Whoa!
Oh! Shit, Jim, you want no help?
He
No,
missed.
I'm talking about the right.
Ah! Did I call him?
No, he
Okay.
didn't hit you.
Oh my God! Oh,
That was interesting.
oh no! Oh, we don't come after me.
I told you I had the right side.
Oh man!
My side.
Oh. That's why I said I don't like this kind of stuff. I don't like turning around like this. Phew. I'm south of the main street. This is scary out here for me. Let me get out of the way.
And the motorcycle club was right over in there.
Uh-huh.
Now the apartments right here, I used to manage the apartments right here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and that's Hattie's church. We're going to get off the highway. Along with the truck man coming after me.
And that church, New Hope, it built those apartments right there.
Yeah, when I first came to town, people were telling about they were country village back then. You can show them what the swimming pool used to be.
You gotta go back to your left.
Okay.
And this is what we call a guy right here. That bus run from,
Uh-huh.
that bus turned around right up here.
That's why I kept saying 69. I said I knew it was 69.
We turn around right back here and go all the way back downtown.
Uh-huh. And all this was just a little bitty highway and country land.
And cotton fields all over there.
Uh-huh.
So you said you used to your house was bought with cotton?
On their first home.
Yeah, I'll show you where it is.
Uh-huh.
How many acres were you dealing with there?
You done picking cotton?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh man, all this up in here was cotton field all the way back
All this,
down, back down that highway.
And that 69 was just a little bit of small road.
Okay.
Uh-huh. A muddy road, that's all I remember.
Okay, the swimming pool used to be right here. This is where the swimming pool used to be, right there.
So this is right near LP Waters?
Uh-huh. A swimming pool.
This is where I graduated from, right here.
And that was Carver back in the day.
In 1961.
This was Carver Elementary?
High school.
It was
Carver
Carver
High
High School back then.
Is it the same building or have they redone it?
They added to it and did some changes to it, but it was Carver High School back then.
Okay.
Okay, and this, well, none of this, Dorothy, you remember they said Dorothy did a beauty shop at her house? That was Dorothy's house right there. Uh-huh, Dorothy Taylor house.
Okay.
Go back right here.
Okay.
We're on Lee Street. I'm going to turn on Craddock
Okay.
Street.
And this is,
That was Daniel's Oil Company right over there.
yeah, I remember that, College Hill.
Yeah,
This is College Hill.
all this College Hill.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The first College Hill before they made the Washington Heights.
Okay.
Okay. Do you remember when they were burning down the black churches and stuff?
Yeah.
One of these churches right here.
That one right
They
there.
rebuilt that one right over here, because that was one of the churches that was burnt.
There was them a little bitty white building.
That's all it was, a little tiny white building. Uh-huh. And this is my older church here. And Jesse May lived there. The woman he was talking about a while ago, she lived there.
Okay.
Jesse May. Uh-huh.
You
And
can go this way and
okay.
then we'll come back up.
okay.
You know, I had an idea for another project.
Uh-huh.
I know you don't have enough projects.
Okay, I'm listening.
When we get through with this one,
Uh-huh.
you know, we can take some time. If you don't
All
mind.
this is still College Hill all the way back over there.
I'll take my way back there. Okay. Churches on every corner.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If we go to the churches and, you know, document them, you know, take pictures of them, talk to the pastor.
They will love that. Now this was just older houses and land here. Then they built all of this up.
Used to be houses right in there.
Oh, that's what the houses. They said they used those railroad cars and made houses out of them. Okay, can we go all the way up? How far up can we go here?
Well, they got this blocked up right there. We have to go back to the left.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I got a hole here, y'all.
Looks like people have gone around it if you want to go straight.
Oh, okay.
If you want to go straight.
Yeah, let's see what's up here. This is what street we're on. Oh, that is cute. Look how that driveway is made. That is cute. All this was black neighborhood too. And College Hill.
You go back there down to your house, and then we can come back.
Okay. We can show them what some of the blacks that little money lived up in here.
Yeah.
We're on Spencer Street.
The school teachers and such.
Okay.
I saw Miss Lee house. That's why I thought about it. Tell me why you want me to turn.
Okay, let's go back and go back down.
Okay, go back to the left over here. Okay.
See all the way down through there. That's still College Hill.
Okay.
That'll go to Wellington Street. Back all over there is College Hill.
Oh, okay.
That's still Spencer Street over there.
Started getting rough right here.
Well, I'm trying to keep the camera steady.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, we're coming up on Pick. Which street you want me to turn on Washington?
We're going to Pickett. Turn left on Pickett.
Pickett, okay.
So all that's still College Hill back down through there.
Okay. College Hill is still east of us. We're turning west on Pickett Street. So the reason most of the houses are gone, you said there used to be a lot more houses here and they were gone, now they're building new ones. Did most of them burn or?
No, I felt like they were torn down out of neglect. Because Green was known to tear down houses. And that's what I felt. It was just vacant lots. We had vacant lots everywhere. Utility Street is the street. Miss Lee is gone now, but she lived there. She fought hard to get this street paved. Oh, she didn't give it up.
Right.
Okay. She's she died years ago. This is her house, but she wanted this street gutted and paved, and she was at that city council meeting on a regular basis. She used to take me with her. Miss, you remember Mary Lee? And a school teacher, Miss Goss. You probably heard of Miss Goss' name.
I have.
She lived right here before she died. This was her house.
That's a nice looking house.
And the gift straps are over here. Well, you know the gift straps. You know Anna.
Yes.
This is her house here.
Okay.
And Melvin Gilstrap, the one I tried to interview, and said no, he's in the hospital. This is his house right here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Monica, she got her sign.
This is on Washington Street.
And this house right here is one we'd be a bit pulling cotton.
This is a little one right here.
So this, let me get a
Okay.
good shot of that.
Okay.
Okay, that's a nice house.
And
My baby sister lived there.
still living.
Okay.
And they got to get the wheels down off the church now. Okay. Where to next, John? I mean, wherever we miss.
Well, none is still College Hill down through there and went by the school.
I didn't want to get too close to the school.
And that's Jesse's buried house. This one of Jesse's house.
Yeah.
The boys live there.
Yeah. Clyde Simmons house, we missed that, but that's okay.
Yeah, this Clyde Simmons house right there. With that brick red house right there.
It's on Lee Street.
Okay.
And his daddy used to live right here.
Oh, okay.
In this line.
So we're at Lee Street now, going to turn east.
Okay.
From Riley Street? Or something like that.
Oh, we could even go by and show what Brother Annie and Mr. Champion used to live, because they were both from some.
Okay, you got to tell me, I don't remember where they live.
Turn right here.
Okay.
Untitled Street, we're going to turn south.
Okay.
That's Fitzpatrick live right there.
Yeah, what's her name? Ann.
Anna.
Ann Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Right here. You have to show me that.
Okay, go on there.
Okay.
We're gonna turn right on
Peek it, okay. I catch it later. That's how Mr. Gilstrap doing, but I catch it later. Because he's in the hospital and rehab, they told me.
Well, Mr. Gilstrap is?
Mm-hmm. He broke his ankle.
Oh, I didn't know
And she
that.
takes care of it. She's his niece. And right on, which way on
Turn right.
Pickett? Okay.
Right.
On Pickett, okay.
Turning west on Pickett.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Daniel used to live right here, on this lot right here. And
Empty vacant lot.
and them champions live right there.
What is
live
that?
on this lot right here.
Okay. Oh, the champion.
And they're both from a school teacher.
Oh, okay. So all the school teachers live over in Washington
Yeah,
Heights.
Mr. Champion was the principal. He was
Okay.
the principal of Booker T.
Jackson.
Okay.
Pickett.
Okay. It was great when they all lived in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which way now?
William Covey just got everything.
Oh.
Go back to the right.
Okay. Reverend Price Church down there.
Then the lady that I would tell you about, but she lived right there.
Jessie May, we're talking about.
Jessie May Berry.
I see what put pins in her skirts and get out there and wrestle with the boys and stuff. Okay. Okay, let me see.
And there was over there, there was the old cotton gin.
Okay.
Well, they used to gin cotton and all of that.
Old cotton gin.
Yeah.
Can you get it, John?
Yes. So that's the building it was in, or did they build a new
Yeah,
building?
that's the building it was in. That's part of it. They didn't took most of it down.
Old cotton gin. Like every town had a cotton gin, huh? In this area.
Then you go right here and turn left. You can go back and back when they build all them new houses.
Oh yeah, I can
over
show
there.
John. I can show John
I think
that.
we've just been up there, haven't we?
Not the newer one. We saw the halfway. We saw the one they built in the '60s. They done built one here in the 2000 houses.
Okay.
2010. They've been on. It's been up about 2 years. Let me show you these. These were forever vacant lots.
There used to be a grocery store right there.
Mr. Myers.
The Myers grocery store.
And that's the one that said Myers Grocery was in the flats, and I moved over here after they closed down the flats, but it started out in the flats.
Okay.
This is the newer home that's in,
You turn left here.
okay,
Go back right.
make a block around.
And the Myers Grocery is at Abilene and Lee Street.
Yeah, in Lee Street.
East corner.
And that's the one they were talking about. You know, you always can get credit there. And they closed down. How long they been closed, John? About Jim, about yeah. This is, I guess these houses are probably built what, about a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they about a couple years old. Of course, you know, I'm always complaining because they don't have a park. Kids need somewhere to play besides in the streets. But nobody hear me complain. I said they need to leave one lot open so the kids can have a place to play.
So back behind that cotton gin, I saw some metal round circular towers.
What is that? There used to be a factory there, and we complained about that factory because it was an eyesore. And it started with an S, Stan something.
Found it in. I think we just did that 2 or 3 couple of years ago.
Yeah, these are about 2, 3 old houses. And they'll give this a name too. They'll call this the New Heights or something. That's probably what they're calling it now, the New Heights. Oh no, we live in the New Heights.
East Heights, the West Heights.
Yeah, So yeah, they calling it something. And when you get to the stop sign up here, it's back to the old.
Okay.
Okay. We don't cover. We covered.
Well, you want to go by Fleeta's house?
Well, no, we're going out the other next week, so we don't
Next
have, well, we can go back down
Yeah.
Lee Street. In case John has some questions.
I
Well, I was gonna go down here, but we run into the school this direction.
Yeah.
I don't you have much choice.
Yeah.
Well, you can go back that way.
Now, see all these houses you see right in there? They ain't even a year old, hardly.
Yeah, these are the newer ones.
Everybody's there. Look, they're all filled up too.
Yeah, you can't find an empty house around here. Especially in the new part, the new section. You asked about all this stuff up here.
Yeah, there was
No, so stop here for a second.
Okay.
See back there in the back?
Daniel's Oil Company.
We complain about this. These
Back up
cows.
just a little bit.
Okay, let them in the window down.
No, just back up a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll show you what I was talking about.
Okay.
Keep going. So, see back over your shoulder there?
Oh, Jim, I don't know. Jim, those two round towers, what are those?
It was the oil company, Daniel's Oil
Oh,
Company.
it was Daniel Oil. It was part of Daniel Oil.
Really?
Company.
Okay, because I can see them having tanks like this, but that looks like it's maybe a grain silo or
Oh,
something.
I don't know.
That was a Daniel's Oil Company right here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I have complained about go to the city council. Y'all need to come with and complain. All this stuff needs to be taken away from here because that oil leaking. You don't know what it's getting into. Well, anyway, that's just me complaining.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of people say that the city didn't do it. It's whoever owned it.
Then they don't claim it. It has nothing to do with it anymore.
No.
We should have took him through the neighborhood.
That's okay.
Yeah, instead of taking him on Lee Street.
Which neighborhood?
Back there through Washington Heights. We should have stayed on Bowling Street. But that's okay. Because we'll be over again in a couple of days. So Lee Street separates it, in my mind.
Separates
Oh, over here is College Hill, right?
College Hill, yes.
Yeah.
But he was saying that College Hill also went north of Lee Street.
Yeah, he said it's all of us, but they just broke it out a little bit. But over here was that, why was that college, Jim?
Right here.
Burleson College was right along in here.
That was the grounds right there. Right here on this corner, right here.
With Burleson College.
It said right here. Right there.
That's at College and Lee Street.
Burleson.
Okay.
Burleson College.
Makes sense for the college to be on the street called College Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's Sugar Hill Express.
Yeah. That used to be a farmer's
There
market.
used to be a restaurant right there.
Okay.
And that was, the blue building was Dairy Queen. What they doing to this church right here? Are they folding it, buttoning it up or what?
They got the pews.
I guess they closing it up.
I guess they're finna tear it down or
Oh,
something.
man.
Wow.
They've been working on it all week. Man, that's a landmark if they tear that down.
I know, it's been there forever. And the old library's right over there to your left. The old,
Greenville Library?
yes.
Yeah, Greenwood Library right there.
Right there to your left. That's the old library.
I remember being in there.
Oh, we didn't show him West End.
Oh yeah, take a right.
Yeah, we didn't show him West End. I just thought about it.
So we're turning south on Sales Street off of Lee Street.
John, that's why we couldn't show you. Another little community.
Okay.
Who said they lived in the West End? No one yet. And we have interviewed.
Go right, then turn left.
Right, then left.
See all that's been there, that's still College Hill.
To the west of Sales Street is still.
We're coming up on the West End now.
This is Pickett Street ahead of us.
Okay.
Go straight through.
Okay. working. At one time, John, years and years ago, they were building senior citizen, these little houses like this, and the city, it was 50-50. It was a 50% grant, and I forgot how that worked, but the city stopped building them because the city didn't want to do the 50%. I forgot how that worked. This is the West End here.
Okay.
There's a little park we're coming up on that. You remember Hattie said she was a part of a project that did neighborhood parks?
Yes.
Here come another one, right? As soon as we get through the holes here in the street.
We're on Spencer Street.
Then you can turn and go through there.
Let me see the park. I go for the next
Okay.
block then. It's several of these neighborhood parks off in the neighborhood. So this is the West End neighborhood park. We're trying to get one in Dorktown where I live.
Okay.
I take the
It's a
number.
nice little park.
What about the street right here? Would this one go all the way through?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay. See, it's another one of these little houses. And the senior citizen could get them. And how did that work? Did they have to give it back to the city once they died or something? So they built a lot of them over here. Woo.
We need Mr. Faulkner to come over here and do the streets.
I mean that.
And we're turning on Short Street, turning east on Short Street.
Again, this is called West End. See, there's another one of them too over there.
The little 50-50 house.
These look new here like that. They just not finished.
Well, they knew they ain't been too long built.
It's more streets than this. I just don't remember. Maybe some more room.
Spencer go back down to the right.
Okay. Isn't Whitley over here somewhere? Whitley House.
Yes, he back up
Okay.
there.
Yep. All of this, all back out for now. This is known as West End.
Okay. We just came off of Up the Grove Street.
And up the Grove is everywhere. It breaks down and comes pick back up. Okay. Yeah, somebody kept this one up good. All back to you. Your left there is the West End. All this is West End.
Okay.
Yeah, this little
Edgar Street.
Your little house. Your Virginia Jones mom had one of these little houses. Okay, you come
Here's
around.
Logan Street. I like the trees in this neighborhood.
Oh yeah, Dogtown has pretty trees too. I'll tell you, look at those holes. We're still in the West End, and that street over there where Whitley and them live, all that is West End.
Now, I'm gonna show you what old Dr. Pepper plant used to be. They took that building and made a home out
Yeah,
of it.
Carl. What was Carl last name? Lived there. His wife still does. Well, we got to go one by because Washington Street is one way, so we can't see it.
Does Alice Reese live there
Yeah,
now?
she lives there.
Okay.
Okay, so you know her, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go up to a stop sign by her house.
That's it right there. There used to be an old Dr. Pepper plant.
She had her house was on a tour of homes one year.
I saw it.
So
I saw it.
We went to it.
I saw it on television.
Oh, wow.
They had it on one of Texas' unique homes on television. Anything else on Washington Street before we turn and go down here?
Nothing. That's the old Dr. Pepper plant.
Okay, then.
Apartments down there.
Okay, then when I'm coming out then. No, which one of these stores used to be old Safeway?
Right there.
Okay.
Where the frescoes is?
It's just be old Safeway.
business and everything down through here.
Yeah, people just telling us that what businesses used to be everywhere. Well, okie dokie, well we'll head back. I don't know but one way to get to your place, Jim.
Go right.
That's the only way I know.
I used to be a cleaners right there.
Okay. What was at the Bell Barn place over there?
I can't remember what the name of the building.
Okay.
Well, the lumber yard was over there.
Okay.
And the glass place was.
I remember the glass place. Seeing that. Over there was H&H Green Stamp Place
Yeah.
on that side of the street.
Yeah, I think on this corner.
Yeah, on that side of the street. Now I'm trying to go 7th Street and come back down the side road.
Mm.
Is that the best way to go? How you go?
But to my house. Now you want to go down here, go down here to.
I need to go over here?
Go down to Moulton. No, you going to the left.
Okay. Okay, I go to. Okay, I got you. I didn't go on Moulton.
Well, you can go on Division Street. Division Street will take you right to the.
Division. Okay.
That'll take you right to the highway, and then go right along the service road.
See, I did it different. I went all the way to 7th Street, and I took it from 7th Street. I guess.
So you can get there from 7th Street.
Okay.
Can you get there from the back side?
Yeah. I went from 7th.
Okay, we'll go that way then.
Well, no, I'm going another way.
Well, go out there in the Moulton Street and take a right.
Okay. Now, John, see our complaints when you cross Lee Street, not Lee, Joe Ramsey, the streets improve.
Mm-hmm.
That is our complaints when we're at the city council. Decent streets.
I can see that. Yeah, and I wonder if they have new houses going in up there. And I saw one of those new houses had a price tag of $150K on it.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, just wondering, if they're going to start getting more tax revenue, will they start putting more money into the streets up there because they have that additional revenue?
And we complained because they on the ballots they wanted to put $7 million out here in what's the name of the guy's name, the street they naming Warren.
Warren?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna turn left.
Yeah, our street is barely passable.
Left on Division.
Okay, is this it right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll take you all the way to my house.
And then you got that street out there where Popeye is. They built that whole street out there, and it's hardly ever used. But yet we have these people over here who can't travel down the street.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
And every time I go to city council, I'm like, here come Benny again. Yeah.
So do you address the council pretty often?
I'm thinking, I haven't been in let's see, months. Yeah, pretty often.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say once a month, but they only meet twice a month, and I didn't go. Yeah.
Okay.
Enough they get on their nerves.
Well, yeah, and I wonder how many of them have driven around those areas. I know I never have, because
I begged them.
Yeah.
Follow me. Just take a block. This is what I'd say. Just dare to cross Lee Street North. Just take a chance. And I told the police. I was talking to the police about it, and some of the police officers said, "Is that the back of it?" Yeah. And the police officers said they were aware of it, but they don't have any power to get on Fixture Street. But I complain about I guess about 3 weeks ago.
That was Lofton live right there.
Oh, London and the big one house here.
Yeah, that
Very
house right
last
there.
and Muffin.
Just go all the way around to the right.
So
Okay.
take a right here. Yeah. So is there a back entrance to the water?
Apartment.
Yeah.
I,
Did you go on 7th Street to get there?
This is the only way you can go.
I think this is the only way I could
Unless
figure.
you come down to 30 down that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I came up 7th Street all the way through 7th. Because I was trying to come, the first time, Sunday I came, I went through those apartments by that restaurant, by a gas station. That's when I figured out.
Oh, yeah, over there.
I said, no, doesn't work.